Hello you guys, it's the Headphone Addict and today I've got something really special for you. It's the Philips Fidelio X1 over-ear indoor headphones. The fact that Philips states that these are indoor headphones is really great because they take it upon themselves to educate the consumer that these headphones are not fit for public commuting, outdoor use, etc. Reason being that these are open. And open design is seeping sound from the outward in and from the inward out. And the problem with ambient noise seeping in is that the details in the music are masked as the noise floor is much higher. So silent environment, and if you're interested in a more portable headphone, the accidentally extraordinary 51st Studios, it is a much better headphone for that application. But back to the Philips Fidelio X1s. This review is going to be structured in the following manner. Firstly, I'm going to show you what you get in the box. Then I'm going to talk about the build quality and some pros and cons with respect to that. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the sound quality, and I assure you they are absolutely phenomenal. They're also pretty cheap now. They came out and were much more expensive, but they really gained traction, and there are probably sold a lot of these headphones now, and the price has dropped significantly. And I'm going to put an affiliate link in the description box to Amazon, and it doesn't cost you anything, and I'm getting a few percentages of your purchase if you decide to get them. So feel free to do that, and thanks in advance if you do. But with that out of the way, let's talk about the headphones. What you get in the box is obviously the headphones, and you get this long 3-meter cable. It also has this clasping mechanism, so if you're not using the whole cable, you can always just roll it up and use the clip to shorten it. So that's great, and it's obviously replaceable. This goes to the headphones and this to your amplifier. As you notice, this plug is the big jack, and you also get an adapter from the big to the small. Going to post a picture of that here now. And the problem with these sorts of adapters are that when you plug them in and you also plug this into the adapter, it puts a lot of strain on your headphone amplifier. So what you really want is something like this with a little pigtail. So that's something you would want from, this is obviously another type, but this is what you want, because then you don't put a lot of strain on the input on your amplifier. So that's one con with this. I wish they had just given you the small plug and given you an adapter to the big plug. Another thing about the cable, and this is soon turning into a cable review, the cable has a high impedance, and a high impedance affects something called the dampening factor, which in turn affects the bass response of the headphones. So the cable actually affects the bass response of the Philips Fidelio X1s. You can get another cable, you don't have to go nuts, you can buy some cheap cable, $20, $10, something like that, as long as it has a low impedance, something like the V-Moda accessory cable, for instance. However, note that Philips made a decision to use this cable, and they've obviously listened to it during manufacturing and development. So they have made a decision to include this cable to make the bass a bit more blossomy and a little bit, it's not slow, but it's slower than with a low impedance cable. So that's basically everything I have to say about the cable. So now let's talk about the build quality. As you can see, they look extremely nice. And this is metal, this is metal, this is metal. So I think it's aluminium. And it's probably been anodized. And it looks really, really good, and it's very lightweight considering the size of these headphones. So extremely good build quality, very durable headphones, and look extremely nice. If you notice, the headband is not extractable, so that's a bit of a concern if you've got a very large head, due to the fact that they may not fit you very well. However, for the people it fits, me included, and I have a normal sized head, it's extremely comfortable, and this sort of thing is putting an even pressure on the top of your head, which makes it feeling really lightweight and very comfortable. So, as you can see, the cushions are extremely big and very good. They're made of a soft material which absolutely loves to get dust on them, so you probably need something like this roll to roll off some excess dirt from time to time. They also have a very wide space inside of here for big ears, so it's very comfortable. However, there's one downside to these pads, and that's the fact that they're not replaceable. So that's a shame. It was especially a shame when these headphones came out and they were far more expensive than they are now. But due to the success, the price has dropped significantly, and they are much cheaper now. But the fact, I think that all headphone manufacturers should at least have replaceable earpads and not charge ridiculous prices such as the Sennheiser HD 600 and 650s. Pads is something that you would consume, and I think that it should be both cheap and available. The other thing is detachable cable, obviously, and there they've got it. So let's hope they give you replaceable pads in the future. So that's basically the build quality. So firstly, shame that they don't have replaceable pads. Great space for the ears. Shame that you can't extract the headband, but if your head fits, it's great, and the normal sized and a bit bigger sized heads will fit. So that's basically it, and very durable and nice construction. Now let's take a look at the specification sheet for the Philips Fidelio X1. As you can see, the sensitivity are 100 decibels at 1 milliwatt. And that's very efficient indeed, so it doesn't require a lot of juice to operate perfectly. So you can run it from your iPhone or iPad or any portable device really. Furthermore, we see that the maximum input is 500 milliwatts, and that's not a great deal, so that tells you that you really don't need an amplifier for this. With the Odyssey LCD2, for instance, they recommend from 2 to 4 watts. So this is only half a watt, so it doesn't really require a amplifier. The impedance is only 30 ohms, so with a 30 ohm impedance, you don't put a lot of strain on the amplifier either. So overall, very efficient and sensitive cans with low impedance. So to the sound quality. The sound quality of the Philips Fidelio X1 is exceptional. It was exceptional at the starting price when they first were launched. Now they're even cheaper, and it's probably the best buy before you aim for something like the HiFiMan HE500s, Odyssey LCD2s, etc. These headphones, my subscribers know that I'm a big fan of the Sennheiser HD 650s, but these knock the Sennheiser HD 650s out of the wood. and at a much more affordable price at that. They have a very wide soundstage, great soundstage and imaging. They have a very nice bass response, a little bit emphasized bass, I have to say, but it's not overpowering like Beats, for instance. So they have very good bass, deep bass, clean bass, very nice and tight bass. Especially if you change out the cable, the bass will be a little bit more pronounced and slow sounding with the stock cable, but it's very good even with that. Also, the highs are crisp and just fantastically detailed, and it doesn't get harsh, and that's the trick. That's something like the Odyssey LCD 2s and 3s are too. They are very detailed, but they don't get harsh, and that's excellent. However, these are not as dark sounding as the Odysseys, but they are much cleaner sounding, sort of, without getting harsh. So it's really a great combination. I really like them. And the mid-range, wow, the mid-range is probably the best in this price range overall. The mid-range is absolutely spectacular. It's warm and lush, and the voices feel really natural, and well, it's just amazing. And the thing is that these are a good all-rounder too, so you can use them for drum and bass. It doesn't have the same pounding, hard-hitting bass like most of the more bass-heavy headphones have. They have pronounced bass, don't get me wrong, but they don't have that Denon AHD 7000 slam bass. So that's worth noting. However, great all-rounder. I can imagine that for games it's absolutely spectacular. With the detachable cable you can purchase a cable with microphone and plug on. So basically it's absolutely amazing, and it's highly recommended both by Hi-Fi Choice and the infamous Headphone Addict. So guys, this has been my review of the Philips Fidelio X1s, and remember my affiliate link below the video if you are deciding to pick them up. Okay guys, I will certainly pick up my pair now that these are going back to my brother, and I'll hope you do the same. Bye guys!